7 days from now, your pile of trash can already look, smell, and feel like real compost instead of a cold, slimy mess. In this video, I'll show you a lazy shortcut that jumpstarts your compost so you see dark, crumbly black gold forming in just 1 week, without constant turning, fancy bins, or heavy lifting. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do each day for 7 days to get your pile heating up fast and breaking down much quicker than a traditional slow heap. Think of these 7 days as a jumpstart week, where you do a little bit each day to set your compost up for success, then let nature do the heavy lifting after that. You won't have finished compost for planting in exactly 7 days, but you will have a hot, active pile that's already turning into black gold inside, instead of sitting there cold for months. This is designed for tired backs, small yards, and gardeners who want results without babysitting a pile every single day. Day 1 is all about choosing the right spot and container so you're not fighting your setup later. Pick a spot on bare soil, not concrete, so earthworms and microbes can move in from below. Use a simple bin, open pile, or a bottomless plastic tote with holes. The key is that it's at least about 3 feet wide and high, so it can hold heat. Clear away weeds or grass, and if your soil is hard, loosen just the top couple of inches with a fork, so water and microbes can move up easily. Once your spot is ready, start building your dry brown base so the pile never turns into a soggy swamp. Lay down a fluffy 8 to 10 inch layer of browns, like dried leaves, shredded cardboard, straw, or small twigs. This base works like a sponge and air mattress at the same time, soaking up moisture while keeping little air pockets open inside the pile. This simple step alone prevents many of the smelly, slimy problems that make beginners give up on composting. On day 2, you start feeding your future black gold with green materials that bring the nitrogen and life. Collect kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, tea bags without staples, and crushed eggshells, along with fresh grass clippings or green plant trimmings. Aim for roughly 1 part green to 3 parts brown by volume so the pile heats up without getting wet and stinky. Spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of greens over your brown base, breaking up any big chunks as you go. Now cover that green layer completely with another layer of browns to keep flies and smells under control. Use dried leaves, shredded paper, or torn cardboard to make a 3-inch blanket over the greens so nothing is exposed. This simple greens always get buried rule keeps your compost clean and neighbor-friendly, even in a small yard. By the end of day 2, you should see a clear pattern forming: brown at the bottom, greens in the middle, browns on top. Day 3 is about building your full lasagna stack so the pile has enough mass to heat up. Keep alternating 2 to 3 inch layers of greens and browns, always finishing with brown on top, until your pile is about waist high. Chop or tear bigger materials like corn stalks, large leaves, or cardboard pieces so they break down faster without extra work later. This layering sets up the perfect carbon and nitrogen mix that soil microbes love, and they'll start multiplying quickly once the pile warms. Before you walk away for the day, add just enough water so the pile feels like a wrung-out sponge when you squeeze a handful. Use a hose with a gentle spray or a watering can, wetting each layer lightly instead of blasting the top all at once. If you squeeze a handful and water streams out, it's too wet, and you can sprinkle on more dry browns to soak it up. Getting this moisture right is one of the biggest keys to speeding things up without creating a soggy anaerobic mess. Day 4 is your first check-in, and you'll probably already notice the pile changing. Slip your hand into the middle of the pile and feel for warmth. It should feel noticeably warmer than the air if the mixture is right. If it feels cool and soggy, add more browns and fluff the top gently with a fork. If it's dry and not heating, sprinkle on a little water and add a thin layer of greens like coffee grounds. The goal is not a workout, just a few minutes of adjustments to keep conditions ideal. If you're finding this lazy shortcut useful so far, take a moment right now to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up guides on using your finished black gold in raised beds and containers. Those little actions tell YouTube to show this to more gardeners who are tired of waiting months for compost that never seems to finish. And if you've already tried composting before, your support here helps more beginners skip the frustrating trial and error. On day 5, it's time for a light mix to bring fresh air into the core without heavy turning. Using a garden fork or a small hand tool, gently lift and fold the outer cooler material toward the center in a few spots, like you're folding a cake batter rather than digging a trench. You don't need to flip the whole pile, just open a few channels where air can slip in and microbes can spread. This quick stir keeps the heat going and prevents the middle from getting compacted. After that gentle mix, check moisture again and top the pile with a fresh thin layer of browns if you see any scraps exposed. This top layer acts like a blanket and odor filter, especially helpful in small yards or suburban neighborhoods. You might even notice a faint earthy smell, which is exactly what you want. That scent means microbes are working hard to transform your pile into future soil. From here on, your job is mostly quick 5-minute check-ins, not hard labor. Day 6 is where most people would normally give up, but your pile should now be in full gear. If you have a compost thermometer, you might see temperatures in the 120 to 140 degree range in the center, which is ideal for faster breakdown. If you don't have one, just feel the outside. It should be warm to the touch, even if the air is cool. This heat is what turns rough scraps into dark, crumbly material much faster than a cold, forgotten heap. If the pile is running a little too cool on day 6, it's usually because it needs a tiny boost of greens and a splash of water. Sprinkle a thin, even layer of coffee grounds or fresh grass clippings over the top. Lightly mix just the upper few inches with a hand fork, then cover again with dry browns. Think of this as adding fuel to a fireplace that is still glowing. You don't rebuild the whole fire, you just feed it what it needs. Within a day, you should feel that warmth returning. By day 7, the outside of your pile may still look a bit rough, but the inside will already be changing color and texture. If you open up the center with a small fork, you should see darker, more crumbly material forming, with fewer recognizable scraps than when you started. It may not be fully finished compost yet, but it's now an active, hot engine of decomposition that will cruise toward black gold over the next couple of weeks with almost no extra effort from you. That is the real shortcut, setting it up right and letting biology take over. From this point, you can simply check your pile once a week, adding a bit of fresh green material under a new brown blanket and giving it a light stir if the heat drops. In a few more weeks, you'll have finished black gold ready to sift and spread into your beds, containers, or around fruit trees. Compared to the old pile it and wait 6 months method, these 7 days of smart setup dramatically speed things up while keeping the work light and manageable for any age. So in just 1 week, you picked the right spot, built a balanced brown and green lasagna, managed moisture like a wrung-out sponge, added just enough air, and jump-started a hot, active pile. This is how you turn everyday kitchen scraps and yard waste into future soil without buying special equipment or spending hours turning a heavy heap. Your garden gets richer, your trash gets lighter, and your back doesn't have to suffer for any of it. If this 7-day lazy compost shortcut helped you feel more confident about making your own black gold, please tap that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos on using compost in raised beds, containers, and no-dig gardens. In the comments, tell me what you're planning to compost first, or what's been your biggest struggle with composting so far. Your questions and experiences help shape future videos, and make this community even more helpful for gardeners at every age, and I respond to every one of them. Take care for now, and see you in the next video.